How's it going, folks? Nick with Foreclosure Finder, back with another walkthrough of the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos every Saturday morning. We are out here today in Charleston, Rhode Island, another one of my brokerage's foreclosure assignments. Trash out was just completed, so I'll be walking through this one for the first time today. I think by the time the video goes live, this should be listed as well. I don't have the price yet. I'm here to get the photos today and figured I'd do the video as well. So again, for any information on these properties or just looking to connect in general, go ahead and take a look at the links in the video description for the most accurate and up-to-date information. All right, so yeah, like I said, we're out here in Charleston, Rhode Island today. Haven't had too much Rhode Island inventory lately, so nice to see it pop up now. Just did the trash out. Few things going on with this one. This one's a bit funky in terms of the layout and just what may be needed here. So, you know, as is tradition, bringing you guys walking through. So we got I guess I would call this a bungalow slash cottage style. It's not a ranch, it's not a split level, although there are traces of that in the home. But I would probably classify this as like cottage bungalow, just kind of based on the overall structure and what the inside's laid out as. Because it looks like there's been a few additions at the property too. So, all right, we'll start on the outside. You guys already know, plenty of deferred maintenance here. So we do have some wood siding. On this side of the home, it looks to be in pretty decent shape. You can see we do have some wood rot up towards the top here, and then some wood rot on the deck as well. More than likely going to have the client do like a hold harmless just so nobody falls through this thing, because just getting up there was a little wobbly even for me, and I'm not the biggest guy, so probably just end up doing a hold harmless for that. Mostly there is basement access, so I was hoping that maybe people would just go in through the basement and then up into the main home and we could avoid this whole structure, but no interior access to the basement from the house. So that's something, you know, either going to have them repair it before we list it, or they'll probably do something like a hold harmless just to, you know, say, hey, people, you know, enter at your own risk type thing. All right, just taking a look here. Place going to need a ton of landscaping. We are on almost 4.5 acres out here. So you can see we're kind of surrounded by woods and trees, and then the front of the driveway there. So I think most of the acreage is behind, if I recall correctly, is behind the garage, and then to the left side here, kind of like going all around the back side. And it's nice because it backs up to conserved land. So you know, shouldn't be too much development on the back side there. Let's check out the garage and then we'll go loop back on the back side of the house. Pretty big garage. Looks like they might have been using this place as a mechanic shop almost, because there was a lot of like cars and things like that here. Roof obviously going to need some work just with the moss growth, but siding again doesn't look too bad on this one. A little rot here, but overall, just based on the rest of the condition of the house, I don't think that's too bad. Probably need some new garage doors. New overhead doors, okay, and then we'll get some access into the back side here. And then I guess before we go in, I'll just give you a little peek. So there's kind of like a path here, still some of the debris left over. I mean, this stuff's just really hard to pick up. You know, you're gonna be out here for 3 days picking up all these individual pieces. So you know, bank's happy just to get a majority of it cleaned up, and then, you know, new buyer, new owner will probably come in and do a little bit more. But a little bit of a pathway that goes down to the end. It kind of like stops there, so I'm not going to go too much further, but this is kind of where the land backs up to, so that's nice, getting some acreage with this one. Back of the garage, again, siding looks like it's in decent shape. Roof's going to need some work, and then I guess we'll pop in here real quick. Some limited light in this place. Some of the lights work, some of them don't, but they're like old style lights, so they're not very bright anyway. This is a good sized garage, a lot of headspace in here. And there might even be some capability or potential to like expand up into the roof, maybe with like a loft. So, you know, it's got electric out here. Looks like it might have some rough plumbing. So, but again, you know, just gonna need a little bit of work in here. But you're not living in the garage. So this is a nice space. It should be a nice bonus, even if the structure itself isn't the most desirable. I guess one thing too we'll point out, since I'm staring at it and noticing at it now, you can see like as we get the kind of the back of the house here, we're kind of up against a cliff. Maybe not a cliff, but you know, a drop off, a slope here, and you can see, you know, this is all just actual rock. So that's probably stuff you got to blast through if you wanted to open it up a little bit more. Because you know, Rhode Island, you do see that in some areas. You can see as we approach the back of the house here. Let me get a little bit of an angle, and then we'll circle around that side. So back of the house, you can see just kind of built into the ledge there. It's got a cool little like greenhouse thing in the basement. We'll see when we get down there. Does add a lot of natural light, so it's kind of a cool accent. I actually liked it. I was expecting this place to be a little bit worse than it was, but yeah, just taking a look. Maybe I'll move the lockbox to the back door, have people go through the back now that I'm thinking about it, and we'll just avoid the front. Okay, just thinking out loud here. I did want to just get back up here real quick because it looks like we got the wood stove, and I do see a bunch of tarp on the roof. So I think we can get to the back side from the front, or this other side from the front. So let's take a quick look. Oh, that might be the train. I don't know if you guys were able to hear that. All right, apparently there's a train tracks over here. I gotta look at the plot map again. For some reason I just can't remember it, can't picture it in my mind right now. Let's circle back around to, like, I guess the front and this other side before we pop in, just because I do want to see if we can get a good shot of the roof. You have this nice stone wall in the front. This looks like it goes up quite a bit, and then there was some more evidence you can see on the driveway here. Obviously a bit worse for where on the driveway side there's another slope and drop off there, but all right, it looks like they had a nice little fire pit here and then another deck. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I just wanted to get back here, see if we can take a look at the roof. All right, deck not too bad. Some more of what we're seeing, like with the, okay, yeah, yep. So we got some tarp up there. Let me see if I can get a little bit of an angle here. Oh yeah, so some tarped roof. Got the old antenna up there. So yeah, roof's gonna need some work, but that's kind of expected with the rest of the condition. Okay, just making the note, and then looks like it might actually have a little bit more pathway down here. Take a quick pop in. Looks like they got a wood shed. That might be the neighboring property, so okay. Yeah, because I think most of it's going to be the left side off the driveway and off the back of the house. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's get into this one. Not sure what this might have been. Hopefully that's not something like for oh, maybe a chicken coop. Yeah, chicken coop. I can see the wire. Okay. Doesn't look like it's in too good a shape. Team did a good job though, trimming this place up and getting it cleaned up. This was quite the mess. I wanted to try to get a video with all the junk here, but it was just it was like almost impossible to walk through this place. So there was a lot of stuff out front. So now that's nice and cleaned up, we can actually get some eyes on it. I guess let's start with this basement here real quick. We'll pop in, just see what we got going on. Again, no access to the main home from here. A little less desirable, but it is what it is. I didn't design the place. All right, so it looks like we might have some mold starting to form, but again, with some of the deferred maintenance, that's to be expected. All right, and then what do we got here? Okay, electric panel. Oh, there is stairs here. So they just closed that off. All right, so panel looks like it might need some work at minimum. All right, do we have 200 amp? Actually nothing on here. Okay, we'll figure that out. I mean, it's updated to an extent. Now this has to be, yeah, okay, so this was just a floor. Okay, I think I know where this is. This is in the kitchen. We'll see if we can open it. So maybe there is access, but I don't want people coming down this flight. It's basically a ladder with this angle. And then this looks like the front, under the front of the house. Okay, nothing in there. All right, just some cinder block, cool. All right, I think I know exactly where that is in the, it's in the kitchen of all places. We are on well and septic out here. So systems look to be okay. And it looks like it's gonna be electric heat with no furnace. Oh yeah. So just bolted right onto the wall there. So they had heat down here at some point. Okay. Any dates on this water heater? Not that I can see. Okay. I mean, it looks relatively newer. And then the well filter. Okay. Okay. I think that's most of what we needed to see down here. It looks actually like some of this plumbing's been replaced more recently too, with it being PVC. This is what I think 1975 build. So you weren't going to be seeing PVC in 1975. So that looks newer than not. All right, let's go ahead into this place. Just give myself a little bit of a chance to jump off if we need to, and just to give you like a very soft. Yeah, so we're gonna have to talk to the bank about that. I'll probably just end up putting the box on the back door like we saw. So okay, all right. So coming in, bit dark in here. They do like their natural wood. So I apologize for the lack of light. I got one on, but it's not doing much. So walking into the kitchen. Just taking a look, I guess we'll do one of these. All right, so, I mean, footprint's all right. They got the wood stove in here. I think that is not the one that we saw, so it might be for that one in the basement. But okay, yeah, so it looks like they like the natural wood style. We got the wood ceilings. I actually like this, not with the rest of the styling, you know, it kind of gives like the faux log cabin feel. But you can see, you know, again, we saw the roof issues outside, so it looks like they were getting some moisture in here through the roof at minimum. You can kind of see that on the ceilings here, okay? Flooring not looking great, right? We can see some of the exposed plywood and deteriorated plywood, and this is where I think the access to that basement door is. You know, let's see. Content is king. Can I even get this thing? Oh, I can't even get this thing open. Okay. That does not want to come up, the little ring to pull it up. But like I said, I don't think people are going to go through there anyway, but that's, of all the places to have the access right when you walk in, you know, like literally walking over it to get into the bedroom, that's a little odd, but like I said, it looks like they've had a few additions here at minimum, so. All right, so we'll walk into the full bathroom. Now the tax card says 1.5, this one does have 2. I'll show you the other bathroom because I don't think it's a fully legal bathroom. Just the way the shower is, but this is the full-size, full bathroom. Good space in here, plenty of real estate in here. Maybe seeing some more of that, yeah, some more of that intrusion maybe from the roof, and then we are starting to approach the backside where we saw the tarps and stuff too. All right, I mean, I don't think there's gonna be too much salvageable in this place unless you want to keep the wood. You know, everyone's got different tastes, of course. But if you were gonna be keeping this structure, and you can see, yeah, older wood windows, a little bit of rot in there. Looks like the team might just left the window open just to let the place air out. All right, so a little living room spot, and then this is that back deck where we saw the slider. So this is where the tarp was, and I guess that would make sense with what we're seeing on the ceiling. Okay, and then, all right, carpet, wall. So we got carpet, wallpaper, and then you got the actual faux wood panels. So this probably was an addition. Maybe these 2 rooms back here. I think that's the case, because otherwise you'd probably see that wood coming into this room. And then I think, yeah, because this is the straight line back here, and then we got another bedroom. Okay, and then yeah, this is where the we saw a lot of that roof damage. Again, seeing some more evidence making its way inside. I will say, oh, it doesn't say, it's this closet door. Why am I? So this closet door is very short. I mean, I'm just putting my head up on I'm taller than the door. As I was walking over there, I feel a few bumps in the floor. So again, probably just getting some water intrusion causing some buckling to the floors underneath this. I doubt it's hardwood with the carpet on it, and with it more than likely being the addition part of the home, but I'm definitely feeling some buckling there. Okay, coming to bedroom number 2. Now I'm not going to walk too far into this one, only because, I mean, you know, we see a lot of the same we're seeing in the rest of the house. Might be a little bit worse in here just because the ceiling's missing. Oh, looks like they had the drop tiles. Okay, they get a little peek in there. All right, yeah, seeing some water intrusion. And it looks like, again, I'm just gonna be a little cautious here. I know I get some comments on the videos, but hey, better safe than sorry. But that doesn't look too safe to walk on. That actually looks like the floor just gave out, and it's just the joists holding up the carpet. So see if you guys can kind of see the dip there, right? So again, just exercise caution. I'm not trying to break a leg just to take some pictures and some video here. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna get into like a little bit of the funkiness of this house. So this is like the main living area, and we're gonna be walking into the half bath, which is, you know, right under our kitchen cabinets. And you walk from your half bath into this room, and maybe this, no, because yeah, hold on, the other one's on the same side. So this has the wood paneling. So this was probably part of the main house, but this shower seems very out of place here. You know, maybe go ahead and leave a comment, because part of me thinks this is the original half bath, and they just added this shower in here and boxed it off. Now it is the wood paneling on the rest of the, you know, the rest of the walls that matches. So could just be a discrepancy in the town card, but you know, something I'll have to do a little research on. Again, seeing some of that intrusion here. But have you ever seen a bathroom go from the kitchen into a stairwell? Because I haven't seen that before. You know, we've had plenty of Jack and Jills or you know, bathrooms with access from 2 sides, but not something, you know, basically walking from the kitchen into a stairwell. This is a bit interesting. All right, so we can go up and down. I almost feel like there's supposed to be a spiral staircase here, but maybe with the bathroom, obviously that limits some of what you can do. All right, we'll come up here. This looks like it's the 3rd bedroom. So they kind of did like a half wall, exposed ceiling here, exposed beams. little bit of skylight there too. Oh, and over here as well. Okay, so some good natural light in here. It actually looks like this part of the roof looks to be okay, given what we've seen in some of the other spots. A little built-in for the closet here. Okay, interesting. Just looking to see if there's anything too glaring. Yeah, it almost feels like this is this was like an after-the-fact thing with the wall. You know, not bringing the wall up, maybe not finishing the ceiling. You know, go ahead and leave a comment. I mean, you know, that I can only infer so much from walking through the place, and you know, sometimes my estimates aren't too accurate. Some people have seen, you know, different things or other things than I have. All right, so we're into the basement area. This is a nice little spot. Obviously, you don't need some work, but you're still carrying kind of that wood aesthetic down. You got the faux wood panels. You got the wood stove, which is nice, and this was that big exhaust going out there. Okay, this is real stone and concrete on the wall here too. That's nice. And then this was that like kind of that greenhouse vibe effect, right? I actually really like this because it's not, you know, obviously you can put some plants here and stuff, maybe grow some things, and it's not like a full greenhouse where you're baking and sweating in here too. So this is a very nice accent piece, and even if I just take the light down, you know, plenty of natural light in here, you know, no problem. Camera's coming up good, so okay, not bad. You know, obviously a few panels need to be replaced. That one's broken. This one's broken. A little crack on the one in the bottom. And well, maybe and some on the top too. Okay. And then this just looks like the rear access that we saw before. I'd love to maybe turn this into like the laundry room or something. I don't see any plumbing for it though. Actually, didn't see any plumbing for laundry anywhere, so this could be a nice little spot for it. You know, just pull in, walk right into the mud room, and then you know, take your stuff off, throw it right in the wash. Okay. Now this is where I was kind of saying, like with the additions, like you have a slider here, right? And typically you're not going to have a sliding door as an interior door. So I'm just trying to think like where the main house starts and the rest of it starts. All right, maybe we can take a look outside and maybe go over it, but I think that was it with this place. Just making sure I'm not missing a stairwell or a bedroom. Okay, like I said, this one should hopefully be listed by the time the video comes out. You know, for any information on these properties, take a look at the links in the video description. I think that's going to wrap it up for today, though. Let's just do one thing, though. I do want to see if... Okay, so I think this is the main part of the house, and then this is the main part of the house, and then I think that back mudroom, or what I would turn into the mudroom, and this part of the house is the addition, and then maybe it was resided at some point. Yeah, because this is that room with the slider, and then the bedroom's off the back side there, and then it just stops. Okay. All right, we're putting the pieces together. Kind of show you guys how we infer, try to figure it out in real time. All right, cool. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this week's video. Again, appreciate you guys sticking around. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos every Saturday morning. All right, Nick signing off till next time. See ya.